the horns going off to get it underway. 6 laps of Phillip Island, and Mark Brax is in central commentary.
Thanks, John. Yep, as John Smale said, it is the Glen Cameron Australian Historics, the first race of the weekend. 6 laps, and there should be some action-packed stuff here. On pole position, we've got Laurie Fife. Next to him, Robbie Phillips, and Stuart Lolly and Alan Lyon. They're rounding out the front row as they head off on their warm-up lap there, Phil.
Yeah, good to see Scotty Webster, the man that always seems to rise to the challenge here at Phillip Island. We saw him eating his Cocoa Pops for breakfast in a story earlier on. He's in 5th place. Beau Beaton in 6th. Great performance from the North Coast V Twins rider on that Vincent. Danny Dest is in 7th place, and Robert Willott is in 8th, Braxy, and rounds out the 2nd row of the grid.
And the 3rd row, the one man that everybody likes is Michael Dibb on that awesome Honda CBX 1000, the big 6-cylinder. Then it's Rex Wolfenden on the T-Rex Honda. Albert Tehanepi, watch him on the Kawasaki, and out of position 11. Rounding out the front row is a 3rd row is Jason Patterson on his P&M Kawasaki as well.
And then it's Mick Neeson, Jason Rumble, Darren Lark, and Keith Higgs round out the next row. And surprising to see Keithy Higgs back that far in the grid. Yeah,
well, he'll live up to his name of being on the ballistic racing Kawasaki, I'd say, from the start. Then we've got Glenn Carroll, Neville Grant, Glenn Crutchley and Richard Easton rounding out the 5th row. And then everybody's favourite row, Chris McRae, Wayne Gow and that immaculate ex-Freddie Spencer Yamaha TZ, Jim Rascotos, and then rounding it out, our favourite man that we love to love, some ways, is Ken Wooten on his Honda.
And he did actually want us to point out, Braxy, that he did qualify the fastest period 4 machine out there.
Yeah, well, he paid all the others, I think. Just to slow down a bit. But rounding out the rest of the grid, we've got Peter Ross on his Suzuki, Steve Bruggen on the Suzuki as well, Simon Cook, Chris Munn, Ivan Munro, Danny Sarong, Bob Garner, Andy Baird, Clive Carter and Martin Pearson, rounding out a full field of 34 historics as they head round off the turns 11 and 12 for their warm-up lap, and it looks like half of them are racing at the moment. But 6 laps here of the Glen Cameron Australian Historics, the first of their 3rd races for the day. Track temperature still a 35.6 degrees, so offering plenty of grip. Looks like that little bit of rain we had at the start of the 250 practice session has dissipated, so beautiful blue skies here, and it looks like, Phil, that we might have seen the worst of the weather, hopefully, for the weekend that has been blown away with those winds that nearly blew us to Bass Strait on Wednesday and Thursday.
Yeah, let's hope so, Braxy. And I've got to say that we were sitting in this exact same commentary box 12 months ago, looking at the weather outside, couldn't believe where we were. We thought we were at Antarctica or Siberia or something. Well, conditions this afternoon are a whole lot better, and I'm glad to see it.
Yeah, exactly. And Laurie Fife, the recently crowned Australian Historic Champion on pole, he'll be keen to cement that title into his name, and it will give a reason why he is the current champion. But beside him, Mr. Superbike, the legend himself, Robbie Phillips, on his immaculate Mick Hone Suzuki, the exact same machine, probably with a few different internals in it over the last 20 years, but all the same. The starter's hands, the red flag's up, green flag at the back. Everybody's right, pointing to the lights. Here we go. It's see what happened. Off and racing, and a good start by Laurie Fife. He's got
someone's
a great
start on the grid there, Braxy, too. Lucky that all the riders got past without making any contact.
The loose cannon himself, 23, leads it in, and what a lead he's got off the line. He has jumped it, not jump-started. He has just flown off the grid into Doohan Corner for the first of their 6-lap journey as they tip it into Southern Loop. But it's not far off with Robbie Phillips moving into 2nd spot as the rest of the field. Look at them, 3, 4, 5 wide, trying to find a line through here at the Glen Cameron Historics.
And it was Robert Willott that was the rider that stalled it on the grid. The marshals have got him going, and he's circulating around now, albeit at the rear of the field. Is this around the outside comes Robbie Phillips, tries to overtake the loose cannon through the fastest corner on the first lap. That's a big one, Braxy.
It certainly is, and what we really expect from Robbie Phillips, but nothing less of that. And look at the rest of them back in 5th, 6th, 7th and 8th position. I think that was Beau Beaton and Michael Dibb in there in that bunch, and be interesting to see what Michael Dibb can do on that big 6-cylinder Honda. He was up the front of the field last year and in other races during the year, so I'll see what he can do with that 140 horsepower of mean machine trying to get through those little skinny tyres.
What a fantastic start from Beau Beaton on the Vincent to be sitting in 6th place at the moment as they head round through this first lap. As you said, Robbie Phillips is leading them, but at the moment looks like the loose cannon, Laurie Fife, is about the only man that can go with him as they start to really pull away at the front over the top of Lukey Heights now. And the period 5's machine be very interesting down in there as the frame starts to flex, and Robbie Phillip's having a lot of fun already.
Yeah.
It's only the first lap.
Just can't get to the power to the ground. But 86, Laurie Fife, 23. He's not making on the leaderboard at the moment. Beau Beaton there on bike number 86, up the second spot. That is unbelievable on the off the second row. That Irving Vincent is flying.
Yeah, and he's got the better of Laurie Fife round through the last third of the circuit, and as we said, Beau Beaton up into second place. A 1:53.1 on a standing start on the Vincent is flying from Beau Beaton. Stu Lolly is in second place, and Scotty Webster's back to fourth at the moment. Michael Dibb is in fifth place, but I'm not sure about that because it's saying that Laurie Fife is not actually in third place, but
yeah,
bike number 83 or 82, Braxy, looks like it's tasted the tarmac.
Yeah, that's Ivan Munro on the Suzuki 1166 Pablo's Tyres bike. But look at this, Beau Beaton, the young kid, up against the old stager Robbie Phillip. What a line round the outside, a good late entry, pulls it in back in tight. He'll try up the inside. Chris McRae jump start on bike number 36. That won't have any effect on the leaders. But Beau Beaton, this young degrader from Coffs Harbour up in New South Wales, chasing the old stager himself. He's got more tricks than Houdini, Robbie Phillip, so we'll see what he can do. The old one versus the new one.
And just looking back in the pack, Scotty Webster's back there in fourth place. Michael Dibb is up to fifth place on that first lap, Braxy, so he's got the big six-cylinder CBX off the line well. Albert de Hennepe's also got away well in sixth place. Keith Higgs is up into seventh, so we said it was surprising to see him that far back on the grid. He's up into seventh place. And Jason Patterson is also in the top 10 in position 9, just behind Rex Wolfenden.
Now look at this, the start. There was no monos from Robbie Phillip coming out of MG corner that time. The body language on Beau Beaton up the inside as he tips it into turn 12, pushing Robbie Phillip wide. You'd think that was the last lap, the move that he put on him. Now what acceleration can Robbie Phillip get out of this bigger Suzuki 1100 against the Irving Vincent? There's a jump start there, as already alluded to, with Chris McRae, but back to the action. Where is it? Side by side. Phillip on the inside, but Beau Beaton got the speed on the outside line, tips it into Doohan corner for the third time. This is going to be a great battle for the lead. Scotty Webster 6.2 seconds behind. Oh, look at these two.
Oh, get the shoehorn out. Robbie Phillip shoehorned it up the inside. Beau Beaton said, I'll have none of that.
Yeah, that's just showing. You wouldn't think that this kid's a degrader. He's been a revelation since he came on the scene this year. Couple of meetings last year, but he's really got the bit between the teeth with this road racing bug at the moment as he tips the Irving Vincent through turn 1 into modal corner for the third time. Robbie Phillip, I think he might just sit there and see what he can do if he can put pressure on Beau Beaton to make a mistake. He's been in this situation before, Robbie Phillip. He knows what to do. Beau Beaton just knows one thing: wind it out and keep the thing pinned and try and get a lead out of him. But Scotty Webster just in front of Michael Dibb, who's now moved up the fourth spot. Stuart Lolly by himself at the moment with Keith Higgs in sixth. So there's a couple of battles all the way through the field. But where's our favourite Category 4 ride, Period 4 rider? We're looking for Ken Wooten back in 22nd position at the moment, 32 seconds off the lead, but he's having a good go at the moment in a good battle back for the Miners. Now Robbie Phillip has closed up again as they come down to MG for the third time.
Yeah, he's closed right up onto the back of Beaton, but the surprising thing is Laurie Fife really has dropped off the pace on bike number 23, Braxy, and the other interesting thing is that he's not even showing on our timing monitor.
Yeah,
so,
I think he might have had a bit of something he missed on the in that very first lap, because he was there, then he was gone, unless his transponders dropped off, but he's not on the leaderboard at the moment. 3 down, half race distance. Robbie Phillip in the slipstream, pulls out alongside Beau Beaton as they tip it in to Doohan corner coming off Gardner Straight, and great slipstreaming duel there. Robbie Phillip pulls out, leads into it through Doohan corner, but Beau Beaton won't have enough of that. He'll be trying again around the outside. Great move, but Robbie Phillip had that momentum to carry through Southern Loop onto the Bass